Hello React developers, my name is Trey and I'm going to walk you through building a production quality Hacker News clone using React. I've been using React daily almost 3 years now and I want to share some of the things that I've learned. So we'll be building this Hacker News clone using Redux to manage the state and style components to style it. It'll have the same functionality as the normal Hacker News clone, allowing you to visit links, see the comments, author, and the points. And then you can load more stories by scrolling down with this infinite scrolling effect that we'll add. So as you can see, pretty similar to the normal Hacker News, except we'll also be adding a night mode theme. And all this data will be coming from the public Hacker News API. So to get started, first make sure you have createReact app installed. And what Create React App does is it allows you to build production quality React applications without needing to worry about the configuration. So it'll manage all the things like bundling and Webpack. Then once that's ready, run Create React App Hacker News Clone. And I've already done this, but this will install all the necessary things to run your application. So change into your directory and open your text editor. And the first thing we want to do is add a .env file. And what this does is it allows you to add environment variables to your application. And we'll create a node path equals source. And what this does is it allows Create React App to use this folder as the base, creating absolute paths. So you might be used to seeing something like import comp from, go back, find your components folder, my comp. And so that's very annoying. So what we can do now is say import my comp from components my comp. Very convenient, very easy, and then when you refactor as well, you don't have to worry about trying to trace these dots around. And now we'll set up our folder structure for our production application. So first we'll add one for components, and this will hold all of our React components. Now, some people may create a separate components and containers folder, but I've actually found that this can kind of be a little tricky, be a little frustrating, and you might try to import from the wrong folder. So having one central place where we have all our components makes it much easier to manage them. Next, we'll create a services folder. And what services are ways to add additional functionality to our application or communicate with APIs outside of our app. Next, we'll add a styles folder. And what styles does is it allows us to create shared style variables and use them across the application. We'll add a store folder. And what the store does is it holds our Redux logic. So this will be our reducers, our actions, things like that. And finally, we'll have a utils folder. And utils are just helper functions where we can share logic across our components and throughout our application. So now, let's change this around and take advantage of it. So we'll add an app folder to our components to house the app. We'll move our app there, app.js, and app.test. And the reason we use a folder is it allows us to keep all the folders and things relating to a specific component bundled together, such as the component itself, tests, style, all that. And then we'll also rename it to index, so then we can import from my components app. Now the next thing we'll do is delete the CSS files because we'll be using style components. So delete index.css and app.css. And you'll notice that we left the index here at the root because that is our entry point to the application. Also, let's remove the import of the CSS so we won't get an error when we run the application. Now, the next thing we'll do is add some styles that we can share throughout the application. First, we'll create a palette, which will use the colors of our application. And we'll also create a globals, which allows us to clear global styling. Now, this is kind of boilerplate code, so I'm just going to copy it from the main repo. So as you can see, we have a dark theme and the light theme colors. And then also I'll grab globals. And what globals are is it's a way to create some baseline default styling for your application without tying them to a specific component. Oh, got those backwards. Let me fix that. So what we're going to be using is the injectGlobal function from style components. And what this does is it creates top level stylings. So we're just adding box sizing border box, some styling to the HTML and body with a dark background, styling lists, and styling our links. And then we will import this in our index file so we can run the function. So import set global styles from styles globals. And notice that we were able to use the absolute path. And then we'll also change our app import to use components app. So run set global styles. And that should do it. Let's also start our application using yarn start, and this will start it in development mode. Navigate to localhost 3000 to see the application. And then if we didn't make any mistakes, we should have our baseline project started and then set up to be production quality folder structure and the base modules that we need. So as you can see, it did load, no errors, so that's good. Let's stop that really quick and then commit our changes. So git add everything, git commit init.